Hi, welcome to another episode of Foxy Little Nuggets. Going to round up some of today's news stories. This is the show that looks at British politics and asks, is this government policy or someone just dropped a box of Scrabble tiles into a shredder? Well, first up, we're going to talk about Keir Starmer. He's decided the great national priority is banning under-16s from social media. Not solving the economy. No, not fixing the boats, not stopping the defence secretaries from resigning in instalments like a dodgy Netflix subscription. More on that on another video. No, the Prime Minister has flown to the G7 and has apparently thought what this global summit really needs is me explaining why teenagers can't watch TikTok. Now, the plan is based on Australia's model, which means, of course, the British version will be exactly the same, except 3 times the cost, more confused, administered by a regulator called Ofcom, because nothing says technological agility like having a Quango in charge, and it will fail. Australia's failed. We just know that this one will fail harder. Messaging apps are exempt, apparently. Educational tools are exempt. News and music may be exempt, which means the government's social media ban currently sounds less like law and more like a pub quiz question. Which of these platforms is still, frightening to the Labour Party? And you can list them and you can pick them off, can't you? And then Starmer is doing a special online meeting with the Labour members live from the G7. Woohoo! Be sure to tune in, eh? Don't forget to miss it. World leaders are discussing Ukraine, security, Iran, the global economy, and there's Keir Starmer. Excuse me, I've got to go and speak on Zoom to 3 people, 2 of whom will be his own policy wonks. So sorry Emmanuel, sorry Donald, sorry Olaf, or whoever's in charge of Germany this week. I've got to reassure Sandra from the CLP in Wolverhampton that the leadership is stable. My God, already. He's running his own panic room from an international summit, isn't he? Oh well. New story. We got Reform's new employment bill. This employers' migrant labour levy. This is a marvellous new form of taxation. If you're an employer and you've got a foreigner in your midst, you pay more in tax. Generic says the age of cheap foreign labour is over. Which is quite bold from a former former immigration secretary. That's like a man setting fire to your curtains, coming back 5 years later and saying, I've always been passionate about smoke alarms. The plan, though, is to charge businesses for employing foreign workers with a higher levy on lower paid immigrants and a lower levy on higher grade immigrants. So basically, the more valuable the immigrant is to us, the nation, the lower the levy. So if you're at the NHS and employing a surgeon, you pay virtually nothing. Whereas if you're a guy running a kebab shop and you've brought in Abdul, you'll be paying maybe £5,000 on top of his salary for the privilege of Abduling your kebab shop. Reform says the money will be used to cut employers' national insurance for British workers. In theory, it makes hiring Brits cheaper and hiring low-wage immigrants dearer. In political terms, it's actually very clever. Administratively, it's another tax code appendix with a flag on it, and so there's more. I was going to say there's more bureaucracy, but not if you don't employ foreigners. It doesn't come up, does it? But the message is clear. The cheap labour model has been handed its P45 and told to leave via the visa exit lane. First flight out, please. Apparently, it could drive millions of low-paid immigrants in this country out. Oh, no. Anyway, third story, Makerfield. We've got to talk about Makerfield. The election's this week, isn't it? This is where British politics has become a custody battle over Britain's sort of right of centre parties. Burnham, of course, is trying to return to Parliament, and grab number 10. He wants to loom over Starmer like the ghost at the feast. Or maybe, better still, the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Reform, of course, is trying to win a historic by-election. And Rupert Lowe's Restore Britain is trying to stop Reform from winning this local by-election. Kelly Badnock says Farage is having a mental breakdown because of Rupert Lowe. Might be some truth in that. And the Conservatives now can't win this election at all, of course, not even trying. But they are standing nearby, offering condolences to anyone who will take them. So the choice for the right-wing voters is Farage, Lowe, or accidentally elect Andy Burnham and trigger a Labour's leadership civil war. Tempting, isn't it? Oh. It's not a by-election. It's a political murder mystery where all the suspects are in the same room. Anyway, moving on. Fourth, the BBC. I love this story. The BBC is cutting, thousands of jobs overall. But certainly, to begin, many, many hundreds from the news division. Matt Britton, who's the new Director General, is making his presence known, and he's also seen the balance sheet. Because so many people have given up on paying the TV tax, he hasn't got the cash. And so they have to downsize. It doesn't half stink of panic, though. Sheer, unadulterated panic. Reports suggest this is the first phase of around 2,000 jobs to go, possibly more. And it's while the BBC is trying to negotiate its future, it wants anyone with an internet to have to pay the TV licence fee because the BBC puts programmes on the internet, therefore you have access to them. No, just put them behind a paywall. Jobs are good. The Daily Telegraph, for example, puts its newspaper on the internet, but I don't have to pay to read it unless I want to pay to read it. Simple. Anyway, even if you don't watch BBC, the plan is that you're going to have to pay. Even if you don't have a television and you only access the internet via, say, a laptop or a tablet or a phone, you'll have to pay the TV licence. Yeah, don't think that's going to actually sit well, do you? Having to pay the BBC tax because you have Netflix, for example. Not going to wash. But anyway, we're going to move on. Denby Pottery, 217 years. And the firm has sent its final pieces to the kiln to be fired and sold. They're going to be sold at auction, apparently, for the people to get them. They've all been individually numbered, and they will be the last ever pieces from Denby. So they will become genuine collector's items. But it's very sad. So, something that's hung around through, First World War, Second World War, Napoleonic Wars, fire, famine, disastrous governments, mobs, and defeated within 2 years of a socialist government. Goes to show, socialism destroys everything. Cannot help itself, can it? It's very sad. You cannot keep taxing jobs and then act surprised when the jobs go. It's just there. But there we go. I do have an and finally, which is quite good, and that is something which you may or may not have done. It's Parkrun. Now, this is amazing numbers. It began in Bushy Park near Watford in 2004. It just had 13 runners and a couple of volunteers. It's now grown into a global movement with millions of people walking, jogging, running, volunteering, wheezing, pretending their knees are fine and discovering that Saturday morning does not legally have to begin with doom scrolling and toast. And best of all, it's free. No subscription, no lifestyle app, no smug influencer telling you that you need your electrolytes called Alpha Hydration Tactical Beast Water that they'll sell you for £44. It's just people turning up in parks and moving a bit. Fast people, slow people, older people, younger people, people pushing buggies, people coming back from illness, people who just want company. It is, in its own way, one of the most civilised things Britain has accidentally given the world. And it's reached its millionth event all over the world. It's now just had its millionth Parkrun. It's people who just want to gather in a park, help each other out, have a chat, and somehow get around 5 kilometres, which is about 3 miles. Whether you walk it, run it, or anything. Or stagger it heroically while making noises normally associated with old plumbing from the hangover from the night before. There we go. Well done to Parkrun, 1 million events. Free. And no government screwing it up or bureaucratising it. There we go. The news might be grim, But at least somewhere this Saturday morning, thousands of people will be running around a park for no obvious reason, and somehow making civilization look positive again. Well done to Parkrun. Thank you very much. You're all wonderful. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I will speak to you later. Bye.